Like, yes, I'm sure I want to broadcast. That's why I pressed the button. Thanks.
I always like how it says you can broadcast for up to 8 hours. I'm really curious what live streams go for 8 hours.
The only live streams that I could think that would go for 8 hours are those gaming live streams, the ones where like they go forever and like they try and beat this thing in so many hours or whatever. Like, because on Twitch they do that a lot. They'll game for like 24 hours straight.
I was like, I hope they have their supplies and like a food stash nearby if that's right? The case.
Like bottles so they don't have to go to the bathroom. Hello, ladies. Trish and Anna and CR and Lady Gizmo. Hi, guys. How are you?
Thank you for joining us.
You guys ready to talk about Rest Ye Murdered Gentlemen? We'll give a few minutes for people to come in and log in. And it seems like a lot of people were reading this book this month, like more than normal, it seems. So that was exciting.
There was a lot. Yeah, I saw pictures on Instagram. I saw people posting on Twitter. So, I mean, this book seemed to really catch on. So I'm curious, how many people ended up reading it before tonight's live stream and their star ratings, because I'm really curious. I saw I don't want to get her title wrong. It's the Mad Hatted Reader. Mm-hmm. She gave it 1 star, and then there was someone else who gave it 5 stars. So I know not only are a lot of people reading it, but everyone has a lot of different opinions on it.
Yes, it's like on both extremes of the rating scale. Oh, we've got a first-time person viewing our stream. Hello, Kelly. Hi, Janine.
I was like, I know Kelly. Kelly's awesome. I'm like, hi. I'm so excited to see her name pop up. Everyone should be following Kelly across platforms. She's amazing.
Aww. Well, you have a new follower with me.
I was gonna say I always want to mispronounce the podcast. It's Boobies and Newbies. She has a podcast. She's awesome.
Yeah, I love podcasts. I listen to them all the time at work.
She's so sweet. Yeah, she has the Instagram for herself and her podcast. So if you guys read romance or you like romance, she has a very interesting take for her podcast. So highly recommend. 5 out of 5 stars. Go, Kelly. I'm so excited. It's so nice to see these numbers increase and see more people commenting.
Yes, it makes my heart happy. Our little cozy companion group is growing. I can't believe we've been doing this almost a year.
I know. It's we're going through all the seasons too. We did the summer cozies, we're doing the fall cozies, now we're doing the Christmas cozies.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Hey, Nat, how are you? Nat's one of my real life BFFs.
That's so sweet. I love that, people in your real life know that you do YouTube. I think that's the best. I love that.
Yep. I'm like, hey, you like books? You don't like books? Well, you're going to love books.
You're like, I will convert you.
Yes.
That's so
all the loving of books. CR. So I've had this question quite a few times. Is it another book, Christmas book for December? So Angela and I were talking about the fact that Christmas is such a busy season and everything like that. So what we're doing is, if you guys know the 12 Days of Cosmas, Angela and myself and Robin from the Driftless Reader. Sometimes she's in these chats. I don't know if she was able to read this month's book, but we are the hosts of the 12 Days of Cosmas. Robin and I started it last year. And so we all have videos on our channels that you can go and watch and see what the 12 Days of Cosmas is about. But this year we're actually doing a group read of the Candy Cane Murder, and it's got Joanne Fluke, Laura Levine, Leslie Meyer, and it's got 3 short stories in it: Candy Cane Murder, Dangers of Candy Canes, Candy Canes of Christmas Past. So that's what we're doing instead of voting or anything like that, because I mean, it is such a busy month for most people, that this is just something that you could do with 12 Days of Cosmas as well as with for the Cozy Mystery Book Club, if that makes sense.
Yeah, basically you can have your cozy mystery love the first 2 weeks in December, because I remember I looked up at the calendar, and I mean, we're falling very close, like immediately after Christmas. So whether, you know, you're still tired from Christmas or you're still with your family and friends, it just seemed like it would be a lot almost. And so this, I mean, I'm also excited for this as well. I think that this is gonna be a really good book. I was having fun. If you open it or you get yourself a physical copy, it's really cute on the inside. They have little kind of emoji-ish designs at the top, and they have the recipes. I mean, I'm excited for this book, and it just looks so much fun.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the recipes. I mean, that's one of the Cosmas challenges is read a book with like cozy treats, and then you can maybe recreate a cozy treat. I feel a Cooking with Cozies video coming up for this as well from me. And so I don't know if I don't think that we're going to do a live stream for this, but you guys, I don't know if we are. We haven't talked about it. But I know that we are going to be doing reading sprints throughout the first 12 days of December, and we're going to have Instagram challenges. We're going to have all of those things. So go follow 12 Days of Cosmas on Instagram and on Twitter, because Robin, Angela, and I, we have all signed up for days, and there's going to be a lot of Cosmas love during the holiday season. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I was like, I saw Kelly's post, the newest one for Christmas. I think this is the newest book, and I just got it after I did my little live stream TBR. I'm going, I might need to update this TBR.
Yeah, that is such a beautiful cover. I love it.
I know. I was going, this actually fits perfectly with a lot of the challenges. So yeah, but I was like, you have challenges. What is it? 1 through 5. She has 6 through. No, you have 1 through 4. She has 5 through 8. And I have 9 through 12. So
yeah. I don't know if it spoils anything from the other series. I've actually never read I don't think I've read a Joanne. Have I read a Joanne Fluke? I don't think I have.
I don't know. I haven't read the newest one yet, but I mean,
Hannah Swenson.
Is Hannah? Oh, it's okay. Hannah. It's Murder She Baked.
Yeah. Okay. So I've read one. I've read the first one of Hannah Swenson's Murder She Baked. I've never read a Laura Levine, and I've never read a Leslie Meyer. So I'm not sure if it actually spoils anything. That's a good question. I just really loved the fact that it was Christmas themed, and it was all short stories from those cozy mystery authors.
I was going to say, Joanna Fluke is one of my faves. I love her.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be a fun little read. But normally when they do short stories, they don't really spoil anything from their series, or at least that's what I've gotten from some other cozy mystery authors. Like I know Ellie Alexander wrote a short novella that actually her 2 main protagonists meet, but it doesn't actually like give any spoilers on Sloane or on Jules. It's just sort of a fun, quick little mystery.
I was going to say, I also don't know what would be spoiled for Hannah. I mean, because the love triangle goes on for a little while. So unless that's the spoiler alert, I'm not really sure what would be spoiled for her series. If there's something particular you're worried about, maybe ask. Might know. Maybe it's answered in the series.
Yeah. Let's see. I think we've given it about 10 minutes for people to join all of that fun stuff. So, guys, what did you think about Rest Ye Murdered Gentlemen? Like we normally do, put some stars in the comments in the chat, and then we can see where everyone is with it, because like Angela was saying, a lot of people were sort of varied whenever it came to doing that. Tom.
Was it the cat?
Yes. He's scratching at something, and he's like, I'm totally just going to ignore Mom. Whatever.
I have the dog on my lap, so there's a very good chance he's going to be making noise at some point.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I gave it like 3.5, 4 stars.
Yeah, I put 3 stars, 0.5 because they don't have like a half star. Nat's totally right, CR. I don't like reading a series out of order either. So yeah, I don't either. I like reading things in order.
I was gonna say like here, I fully agree with that.
Yeah.
The worst is when you don't know you're reading out of order and then you have to go back and then you're like, wait a second, I already know this, and you are spoiled. Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
But it looks like we've got 3.5 stars, 3.5, 4, but debating giving it 3 stars. Kelly's has 3 stars. She rated up, or Anna rated up to 4, but it was a 3.5 stars. Yeah, I rated on Goodreads. If you guys saw on my Twitter, I rated it a 3 stars because Goodreads doesn't let you do 0.5, and so I gave it a 3 stars because it was closer to a 3 than a 4 for me.
I mean, I'm a very generous star person. I'm always going, oh, good for you. You wrote a book. I'm going to give you a star.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just thought it was kind of a unique premise. So I think I appreciated that. Although we were talking about this before, I do understand it does take a little bit to get into the book in a way. A lot of characters thrown at you very quickly. But I think once you're in it, it kind of flows. It's not a difficult read to get into once you're there.
Yeah, it took me about 30% of the book to continue to read. I don't know if that was just because I've been exhausted with having so many family members over. Like trying to read has just been like pulling teeth for me the past couple of weeks. But I agree with Anna that I loved the setting and most of the characters. Like I thought it was a really unique setting. I love the fact that they're a year-round Christmas town and that's where they thrive and they get their economy going and everything like that. Mary was not my favorite character either. Like, I don't know. I feel like she was kind of bratty. And I also, another thing I didn't like was the fact that she didn't really seem to care about her dog very much. Like she did, but it felt to me that he was more of a burden than she really loved him and wanted to, you know, have a dog. Like, I don't know. I feel like she was sort of like forced into getting a dog.
I was going to say, I thought the dog was really cute, but it was almost as if, I mean, I was curious. He kind of seemed like a plot device for me a little bit because she was walking the dog to find the dead body. Mm-hmm. I mean, that kind of seemed the reasoning. Oh, she had the dog, which lent itself to this. So it kind of, I think he was there more for like the story arc than he was for anything else in a way almost.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like maybe he was put in there because one, she needed to be able to find a way to find the body, to be out in the woods in the first place. And two, I feel like most cozies were, you know, a lot of cozies have that animal pool, but I feel like he wasn't like a co-host like some other cozies have their animals. He was more of a burden in a way. And I didn't like that she kept him in a crate while she was gone. And it's not that I'm against crate training. It's more along the lines of how long hours she worked and the fact that he's a puppy. He needs all of the levels and all of the runs to get all of that extra energy out. And I loved him so much. I wanted to like adopt him as mine. And I know that this shouldn't be as like important of a thing, but I have to have a realistic view. If you're going to have kids for a protagonist, I need to know that those kids are being taken care of while she's sleuthing. Same thing with animals. If I have animals, I need to make sure that they're being taken care of while they're doing the sleuthing.
I think I also expected the dog to be more of a part of the book because he's on the cover here, and then if you flip it around and you have the paper edition, he's on the back as well. I mean, he's prominently featured, and then he's only a minimal, you know, reference throughout. But no, I would never. I mean, that's one of my things with Max, who's sitting on my lap and he wants to say hi. Apparently, this is the fluffy. Yeah, I would never leave him alone for that long of a time period. You just don't do that. It doesn't. I mean, puppy, dog, just no.
Yeah, no. I agree. Hey, Nicole, I'm so sorry about your truck and the faulty hose and transmission fluid everywhere. Oh my goodness. That stinks so much. I don't, Kelly says, I don't think it's ever a good sign if you like the best friend or supporting characters more than the protagonist. And that's how I felt about Mary. No, I agree. I agree with that. I did like the fellow characters more than I liked Mary. A lot more.
I mean, I also have a question. Did we ever figure out exactly her age? I was really paying attention after a certain point because aside from knowing she was in New York and she came back, and then she'd said, not Russ, but Alan was the high schooler. Like, I know obviously she's an adult. She graduated high school. They said, oh, I dated him in high school. She didn't say how long ago high school was. And then I was trying to figure out, oh, how old is she? And then they, she referenced, oh, now you're too old to play Mrs. Claus. Then you're too young to play Mrs. Claus. Like, it was just very difficult to figure out how old she was supposed to be.
I don't think you mentioned her age. I think I just assumed that she was in her mid-30s. Like in my head, I'm like, yeah, she's mid-30s. That's what I'm just gonna say, because she didn't say anything like that either. Like, she did say that she had a younger sister, and like, so I'm like, okay, so that sister's younger and is in college, so I'm assuming that she's older. And so I had to do like mental math in my head, but I assumed 30s in a way.
I know, I was like, is she late 20s, early 30s, early 40s? I'm like, we have a very large age range right now.
Oh,
but, I think it's okay.
I like what Rebecca said. She said she's probably not going to continue this series. She loved the idea, but she couldn't find friends in the characters, not people that she would hang out with for fun. I like that. Like, you're going to continue a series if you think that you would personally be friends with that protagonist and those characters. I agree. I did like her friend. Her best friend was really, really cool. I liked that she had purple hair.
I mean, I have to admit, my curiosity is piqued for the third book. So this is not a spoiler because this is actually on the book blurb. If you just pull up the third book in the series, her ex-boyfriend comes to town and he's trying to win her back, and she's not having it, and then he turns up strangled or he turns up dead. And so it's going, this is an interesting premise with the ex-fiance, ex-boyfriend coming back into town.
The one who left her for the New York magazine owner person. He became engaged. Yeah. And did anyone else find it super weird that they didn't introduce her past until like 42% into the book? Because, okay, I had it physically, but then I couldn't carry this around all the time. So then I bought it on my Kindle. And so I knew that it was 42% that way. But I thought that it was kind of weird that they were like, oh, yeah, the reason why she's so awkward with Alan and Russ is because she had a bad breakup in New York. Here's all this backstory. Oh, I forgot to give this backstory at the beginning of the story.
I was trying to put the book back. I'm hoping it's going to stay. Yeah, I think I told you I thought that was kind of thrown or tacked in there a little later on. Because the Russ Alan love triangle was almost asked to say like why she has her relationship issues.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I saw Nicole's comment. I was going, that's so terrible. Car trouble's the worst when you're stuck and you're relying on it. You're so sweet. I feel like you need to go relax. I hope you're having a cup of tea or something during this live stream. Poor baby. Poor girl. That's the worst.
That stinks. Hi, Phaedra. How are you? I also... CR, I thought it was really weird too that her dad just kept knowing things that would sell in her store. Like, yep, the moment he put it in the window, bam, it got sold. And then, but that was supposed to be her specialty. Like, once you found out about her New York job, it was supposed to be like her specialty to create and design and do things like that. I thought that was kind of weird.
I mean, one of the things that caught my attention was that she referenced, oh, we have this Douglas fir tree in the window year round. It's always there. We love taking care of it. And then all of a sudden, X amount of pages later, oh, the fir, it looks very sad and as if it's dying. I'm going, didn't you take pride in this like an hour, a little while ago?
But then I also think that was just like her viewpoint because of everything was going, downhill with the town itself, that she sort of just was like seeing things in a way that like I think she was like projecting that onto the way everything looked, whether it was actually looking that way or not. It was just like a projection of her inner emotions.
Oh, I love Anna's comment. She didn't even say she needed to figure out who the murderer was until nearly the end. I loved how she thought she figured it out with the woman wanting to run for mayor, and then as soon as she's in the room, Alan figured it out before she did because he was trying to help out. So Alan should have been our sleuther there. He seemed to understand that situation before she did it all. Like, it didn't click for her at first.
Yeah, I don't know. I also didn't or couldn't figure out who the murderer was, but it wasn't in like that good, like, oh, the author, like, I could think back to all of the little things that she dropped, the hints that she dropped throughout the story. It was more along the lines of like, wait, what? Because I just kept feeling like she was dragging us down this one way, and then all of a sudden, nope, it was the mayor. And you're just like, oh, like I felt let down. Like they took away my oomph. I was like, ugh.
I was gonna say, it's almost as if you were along for the ride. You yourself couldn't do the whodunit because there wasn't enough info. Mm-hmm. That was how I kind of looked at it. Like, you know, the last few cozy mysteries we've read, I'm just kind of going, okay, I'm just going to read along and just kind of go with it. But if you're playing the whodunit game and you really want to, you know, be able to say, oh, I figured it out or pay attention to the details, I don't think you could have done it with this one. If you did, I would have been very, very impressed.
Yeah, I mean, if you figured out the whodunit, you know, kudos to you, because I had no clue, and I'm normally pretty good at, like, I've read enough cozies that I can normally figure it out pretty quick. I love that Anna said the puppy found the body. Victoria wanted to check out the other town. Alan figured out who the murderer was. Mary was just there. Yep. Like Angela said, she was just along for the ride, and it wasn't like she was actually doing any snooping in any way, shape, or form. It made me mad. Do crappy exes make good cozy sleuths? Is it a theme in cozies? Normally exes or something has brought that person to another part of the country, to a small place. There is a life sort of act or event that starts a cozy off. But it's not always exes, though it is a lot of times a relationship has ended and the woman's going to be a badass on her own and, you know, strike out in the world and be an awesome possum.
I mean, I have to admit, I think the last few books that we've read, the ex has been a reoccurring factor for their kind of catalyst. That's definitely been. I think we've seen a lot of that in this book club.
Yeah.
What's his name? Matteo. I know that we had that one. We had Shannon with the high school ex-boyfriend. I mean, there was a whole bunch of ex-boyfriends going on in these cozy mystery towns.
But I also like that they kind of have that there, just so you can see that the cozy sleuths aren't, you know, like perfect. They have these histories, these things that are going on, but they're not always moving just because of a guy or something like that. It's they're going home, basically.
Yeah, it's more. You know, like I do like that because they are usually going home like, oh, I want my family, I want my friends. There's a comfort to it.
Mm-hmm. Or they're starting over and then they get to make their own friend families where people will become friends, but they're closer than that, so they become families. I like that aspect of it as well. Sierra said, and the mayor's reasoning didn't make sense. He didn't like Mary's dad. Okay, what good is murdering someone going to do? It's not like he tried to frame him. Yeah, I feel like there was this one thought strain that Mary had when she thought, you know, oh, maybe someone is after my dad, because it did start to make sense whenever she was like, yeah, because this happened and then this happened and then this happened. And she was able to like tie all the threads together. And I was like, oh, her dad being the main person that they were trying to go after, that made sense. But then it was like she just dropped that whole entire thought strain, and then I had no idea what the heck she was thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it took her a while to get there, though. I mean, even the cookie, the decorations. I mean, I almost feel as if, because you had to figure out, oh, the elaborately decorated cookie, we thought it was for Santa. No, it was for the English. We had to make that connection, and so that misinterpretation was that was where everything transitioned. But she had to get there almost. And I wasn't sure if that was enough of a jumping off point. It almost seemed like at this point it was a stretch a little bit.
Yeah, I can totally see that as well. Oh, hi, Lizzie. She said she read this book last year and it was fun, and she just picked up book 2. I like how Phaedra said that the setting was a 5 for me, but the story sadly was a 3. Like, I agree with that. I really loved this setting, guys. I love Christmas so much. Like, I spent time today wrapping presents, and like, I've already started getting Christmas presents in. So I was so down for a year-round Christmas mystery series. And maybe, I always say that the first book is sort of like the try-on. Like, do you want to continue? Do you want to, grow with the characters? Because the characters may grow and they may be better. She might mature. She might, things could happen. So it's sort of in the air for me whether or not I'll continue.
I mean, I think there was I mentioned this before, there were a lot of character starters very, very quickly. But once you sort of got past the first 10%, at least for me, I was able to go with it more. So I thought it was an easier read. So I didn't mind the writing. I didn't mind the Christmas town. Again, I think I'm more intrigued by book 3 than book 2. I mean, book 2, I haven't read it, so I can't tell you anything. But the idea of the ex-boyfriend coming to town, that seemed very, very dramatic. So I actually kind of want to read that one.
Yeah, I can see that, because I do kind of want to know more about her past. I'm kind of mad that we didn't get her past earlier within the book, because then the way she acted towards certain things would have made more sense. And, why she started her shop there and everything like that. Like, that would have made more sense closer to the beginning of the book rather than halfway through the book.
I mean, I'm also curious how long this love triangle is going to go on. Again, I love Hannah. I love Hannah Simpson. But I mean, that was a love triangle that went on for a while in that series. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm really ready to do another long-term love triangle. So I'm hoping by the end of book 3, maybe she'll have, relationships sorted out a little bit more.
And it felt kind of awkward to me, the love triangle, because like, at the end, when Russ was like, hey, Mary, go to lunch with me. And Alan was like, oh, I'll go to lunch with you too, because I was also there when the murderer was found. I'm like, I have secondhand embarrassment. Like,
I thought Alan was I thought that was hysterical. And Alan was like, no, I'm coming with you. I
think Alan is my favorite out of Alan and Russ.
I got the biggest kick out of Alan when he did that. The only thing we really learned about Russ is that he had the sexy Southern accent. I mean, every single time he spoke, she was like, oh, he has the sexy Southern accent. And I'm going, okay. I mean, aside from his accent, what else is going on there?
What other traits do you see with him? I like how Nicole said, well, the mayor said he wanted to ruin Mary's dad's good name, but how is ruining Mary's float, killing the reporter, and setting Kyle on fire going to ruin Noelle's name? I totally agree with that. CR. Yes, Alan was the toy maker. He's the one that ended up finding the murderer as well.
Yeah, he was also going to, again, he had like a little bit of a cinnamon roll characteristic, saying, oh, I'm going to stay up all night and make sure you get the toys ready. And he was going to go above and beyond for her. I mean, he was very sweet. And I just liked him. I just really did. Yeah. You seem more comfortable with him too. Like, they were hanging out versus the other one who took her to a restaurant. So it just seemed a little bit more informal. So I'm curious. I kind of wanted to end up with Ellen. And thank you.
Like, when he came over to her house and ate and had wine and everything, and he played with the puppy. Oh, when he played with the puppy, I was like, yup, that's the one that plays with the puppy.
And thank you. I'm in my den. I saw the new setting. There's a lot of stuff on my kitchen table, so I am in a different part of my apartment. I'm glad you like it. I put up the little twinkling lights, and so we have a little bit of Christmas going on too with Santa. So I'm glad you like it.
Better enough.
But anytime, again, the puppy. Anytime you play with the dog, that's gonna steal hearts. It's still mine.
I was like, yep, done. Nicole said Russ is too handsy. I mean, Russ had to keep touching her and she didn't seem like she enjoyed it, but didn't ever stop him. I agree. She kept was very, very hesitant in being around Russ. So in my head, I was like, why don't you just tell him to go away? Like, tell him, hey, I'm interested in someone else, not interested in you.
The handsy thing, you just reminded me, because I kind of made a little mental note of this one when she said, oh, I really just want to go home and go to bed or take a bath and go to bed. And he was like, oh, I can't. He's saying, do you want company for that? I'm going, that was very forward of you.
Yeah.
You kind of have a little comeback there and just going, no, I'm good. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. No, thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. Bye. No.
Get out of my bubble. I love her.
Yes.
Get out of my bubble.
Seriously, dude, no.
Yeah, I mean, because it was almost as if I was waiting for her, because they never actually attached the date. She never said, oh, we're going out on a date. Oh, I'm just going to go meet, so-and-so. And when I was going to say, I didn't know if she was into them either, because when Refs dropped her off, there was no kiss, no hug, no nothing. She just went to her door. I thought that would have been an indicator of if she was interested in him. Like, oh, she kissed him goodnight and went inside. Like, there was, again, they could have just been friends hanging out. It just was very, I mean, it could have been platonic. We didn't really get a lot of insight from that.
Yeah. Well, and I like how Phaedra said that she was kind of detached. I agree. And a lot of times, before we found out about her past, I didn't understand her detachment. I didn't understand why she was so hesitant with either one of the guys, especially because she had mentioned how she thought about Alan, thought that maybe they could pick up what they had in high school, and how not Vicky, her best friend's name was it Vicky? Yeah, no, Vicky was her.
Oh, she was the baker. Are you talking about the one with the Kyle?
No, her best friend Vicky said that they were soulmates and, yada, yada, yada. But it seemed very, very confusing. I was worn out, and I was like, girl, you need to fix you.
You're like, you need to do some self-love, self-reflection, and then pursue a relationship.
Yes.
That the setting, you knew right away you weren't going to like her, but the setting roped you in. Interesting. I mean, I have to admit, there were a few times, I mean, again, I know the woman's still the, her then love of her life, but she was very down on the socialite woman. She referred to her looks, and there was a little bit of, a little snide comment going that way. So she had her moments. She definitely had her moments.
Oh, yeah. I like how Madison said, the love triangle definitely seemed contrived and her heart isn't in it. Also, the ending, seriously, Wild West love showdown. When Alan invited himself to their dinner or to their lunch or whatever, I was like, I mean, I loved Alan's point of view. I was like, yeah, he was there too. Actually, he's the one that, figured it out and was kind of the, saving the day kind of person in the end. So
that was when I was like, Alan wins. I was just like, I'm done, Alan. I loved that. He was going, it was one of those, I'm going to fight for her. And also, I was there, don't knock me out of this context. I was like, Alan, I loved that. I was like, go, Alan. Because he didn't back down. I just thought that was kind of adorable. I mean, I also think, I don't know how detached, to me, almost there was a moment where she did seem to kind of pick Alan more so than Russ when they wanted to drive her home, and he was saying, oh, you could have delayed shock. And she's going, well, he could have it too. Maybe I should stay with him. But she didn't actually say it. She hesitated, but mentally she was, she was exuding her, feelings towards Alan. I mean, but again, I didn't know how romantic it was, but she still, I mean, at least it wasn't totally detached. She did care about him.
Yeah. Well, and Alan sort of seemed to have very drastic personalities as well. I don't know if anybody else picked up on it, or maybe I'm just looking into it too much, but he would towards the beginning of the book, he seemed very shy and not really talking very much and everything like that. But then he was so forward at the end of the book and was like, I don't know, it sort of seemed to me like he had a personality like transplant. Like he went from being sort of like calm and like demure in a way to like,
see, I interpreted it like he was gonna fight for her. I was like, I thought of it as like, okay, he's gonna step up his game. Almost like he's not letting this go. Like that's how I interpreted that one. Although I have to admit, we haven't talked about her yet. Candy, the police officer, thoughts, opinions.
Oh my goodness, girl hate girl drama. Like I'm like, no, can't we just all be friends? Like, why you gotta be that way? I don't understand.
I didn't know what to do with her for the longest time. It wasn't until the very end when she bought something from the store. I'm going, okay, maybe this can work out. But those two were button heads.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then the thing that she bought was, of course, something her dad put in the store, and she thought was tacky. And oh my God, Nicole, I agree. She is a see you next Tuesday. I love it. Yes.
I mean, I kind of my favorite part with her was when the detective came to the scene and she was going to answer on behalf of Mary there. I'm going, you just got on the scene. How do you don't have all the intel, but she was going to answer on her behalf and interject herself into the situation. I'm going, oh, this is interesting. You wanted her to be killed? You wanted her to be the killer so she'd go to jail. I love it.
See, and I kind of wanted like murder and it be her.
That is amazing.
Andy annoying the cheap gifts owner, Sue Ann or whatever, annoying. Jackie, her employee, annoying. Jackie was just so self-involved and just, oh my God. It drove me insane.
I was going to say, like, yeah, there is usually someone like Candy in real life. I mean, I also thought it was kind of, yeah, I was going to say there was kind of a realism to that where it's like you're not going to like everyone. Your people aren't always going to like you. They're going to be hard to situations. So actually, I mean, like, yeah, she was a hard character, but I kind of got it in a way.
Mm-hmm. I like Trish said that she thought it might be Betty's son for a while. So did I, because I feel like they just dropped him out of the middle of nowhere too. Like, oh yeah, they, you know, so-and-so fired so-and-so and just like everything. It was just really, really hard. There weren't, I feel like maybe there were one, too many red herrings and two, not enough hints throughout the book. And the fact that, you know, Mary wasn't doing enough sleuthing on her own, that I feel as immersed into the mystery and figuring it out as I normally am.
I just read that Betty lady needed to go fly a kite. I just saw that in the comments. That's amazing. And I actually think that would be great. I just lost the comment. Someone said it should have been Vicky. Yeah, Anna, Vicky with her bakery should have been the main character. I mean, I think she also would have had a better reason to go sleuthing because she was almost a suspect to some degree.
She was the one that like wanted to go and do all of this stuff. She's the one, you know, I totally agree. Hashtag Vicky main character.
I mean, yeah, she was the one who's like, let's go to the other town. Let's see what they're doing. Oh, are they behind it? I mean, she had the hypothesis. It wasn't our protagonist there. I mean, again, the float versus the cookie. I mean, we also didn't know the float was sabotaged. And even then, like, oh, I lost out on a trophy versus my bakery got closed down and I'm getting accused of having bad ingredients. I mean, she could have been a great protagonist. I like that comment. Yeah, I'm all there for you. I'm like, I agree with Anna wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Which it seems like lately there have been quite a few books that we've read where we're like, you know what? This other character should be the main character. Like when we read A Potion to Die For, we were like, you know, her cousin, we like her cousin more than...
I love her cousin. I still want a spin-off of her. I still want the spin-off. I thought the cousin was amazing with her hexes. I just thought she was so cute. And I loved her. I was there for that. I am there for that spinoff. I will input the request and buy the book. I'm there for that one.
Yes. Kelly, Becky, Vicky, Candy, Mary. I mean, my name is Kelly, but couldn't we get something different like a Nicole or Jan? You know, I didn't realize that almost all of the names end in Y. Because even Jackie, even though it doesn't have the Y, it has that E sound.
Like the pronunciation. I actually didn't realize that either. My biggest quirk is when characters have the first letters all the same. I remember reading a book one time where every character's name began with an M, and I'm going, oh boy, okay, this is great.
Mm-hmm. Nicole, I should have been in this book and smacked some sense into people. I love you so much. The best is that we like Eddie the cat more than the main character and lending a paw. Seriously, Eddie was bae. He was the best main character.
He was the sleuther. I loved Eddie. He was her sleuther. Again, like the other characters, sometimes they step up their sleuthing game over the protagonist, even if it's a cat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
As my dog is like, pay attention to me.
Love me. And then my animals are so old that none of them are around me. I have 4 of them, and none of them love me right now.
We need shirts that say like Team Eddie, and everyone's gonna be like, "Who? Edward from Twilight? What's going on?" But it's like, no, you're Team Eddie.
Yeah, fight me, bro.
I'm trying to think. Was there anything? I'm trying to think if there's something else we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I finished the book today. I was only like 30% into the book today, and then I finished it all today. So
no, I always try and read like very close to the live stream because I don't want to forget details and stuff. I finished reading it too. And then Nicole, she started and read it today.
Girl, you're my Patronus.
That is amazing. That needs to be trademarked immediately.
Yes, yes.
You're my Patronus. I mean, the only thing I gotta give, I was just looking down. I only had like a couple of notes. I didn't really have that many for this book. She didn't go around the cops. She at least kept them appraised of what she was doing. It wasn't one of those, we're just gonna, take this on ourselves and see what happens.
Yeah. I like that. I actually really did like Simmons, the detective. I also thought that it was really, really cool that the main cop, the detective, was a woman. That is rare within cozy mysteries. For some reason, it's normally a man that is the detective or something along those lines. But I love that. I love that she was a female and that she was a single mom, and like that made me feel closer to Simmons in a way.
Well, I mean, she was also nice to the dog.
Exactly. And she was so good with him. So good.
I was gonna say the dog, he made a little growling, so I'm like, I agree. No, I loved how she was able to kind of deal with them. And I kind of I didn't know what to make of it, where she was going, oh, I don't have to lie about him being well behaved because she has a handle on this. Like, she's like, I can do this case, I can, be there for the dog. I mean, she was on it. She had her game. She was on her game.
I really, really liked her. Anna, I followed that up with Caught Red-Handed, and there was definitely a difference with the mystery part. Carlos makes my eyes roll. Man, but I am so Team Carlos. Sorry, this is a totally different series. It is the Meet Your Baker series, which was the first cozy that we read. Here's all of the Meet Your Baker, or the Bake Shop Mystery series. I'm so Team Carlos. Like,
was he the one with the daughter we didn't know about?
With the son that, yeah, the son, yeah, that they didn't know about.
She found the letters, and then they split up because she's going, wait a second, you have a child, you never told me, and we're married. How is this so?
No, but it ended up, like, it's so good. It's so good. And yes, so totally Team Carlos. I feel like if I was your Patronus, I would fight off those Dementors ninja style and not just sweep over them with some light. Yes.
You really should be.
And I want the theme song of "Let's Get Down to Business to Defeat." I want that to be going on every time that I call you out as my Patronus. Like, you come with your own theme song. That would be cool.
Oh my gosh. I love how I knew exactly what you're talking about too. I can just picture him, let's go defeat the Huns right there. I'm kind of excited. I mean, I know that one, the Mulan, was not a live musical, the live action, but I'm going, has the best soundtrack. You need
It really does. I was listening to the Disney, my Disney Pandora station today. So, yeah. Team Thomas. I can understand that, Anna, but have you finished the series yet? Because, well, I mean, the series isn't finished, but are you up to the very end of it? You need to get there. Trish says that we need a huge celebration in January for our anniversary. I don't know what we would do.
Well, I'm wearing my like Get Cozy sweater. We can. I don't know if we'd have to do like. I don't know if they're. What do you have in mind?
I don't know.
That's
yes, Phaedra. Next month's book is the Candy Cane Murder, and it's got 3 short stories in it by Joanne Fluke, Laura Levine, and Leslie Myers. So it's 99 cents, I saw someone say, on Kindle online, so you can get it that way as well. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to do a live stream because it would be so close to after Christmas and really close to New Year's Eve and Angela's birthday on New Year's Day. And so we'll talk about that more, but make sure that you guys follow 12 Days of Cosmos on Instagram and on Twitter as well, because we're going to be hosting a lot of reading sprints and Twitter challenges or Instagram challenges and everything like that.
I was going to say, I actually have both the ebook for my iPad and the physical book because I wanted to be able to take part in the Instagram challenges. I'm going, I'm going to get this physical book too because I just feel like you need it.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I also love the cover. I mean, there's a detail here that I just love. So you have the candy canes, then you have like a little skull in the middle of the bow. I just thought that was, I don't know, there was just something about that. So do we have the same cover?
No, because my cover's the paperback edition. I don't have a cute little skull. I'm ripped off. That's just a green bow.
There's a skull.
There's no skull. No skull.
I was gonna say I was for the Instagram. I was taking some pictures, and I am so excited to share this one. I love this book cover. There's just something about it, and I also like the shine. But
said, are y'all going to post a list of all the challenges so that we can see them in one place? Yes, all of the Instagram challenges I've already posted to our Instagram account. So all of the challenges for the 12 days are there. I am going to make a pretty little design thing for the actual challenges for the 12 days of Cosmos with the songs and everything. I just need to put that together. So that will come out on
you are amazing with this stuff. I mean, her, like, these graphics, and also when you invited me to that Google Doc, I was so impressed. She had the different lines, red, green, and then I mean, I know, like, I'm a visual learner. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is incredible and amazing. I am always impressed with what you come up with.
Thank you. I'm very a type A personality girl. Like, I like to have a list and like color code it, and I like to have everything nice and neat and organized, because if I don't, I feel very, very stressed. And so, yeah, I was like, yep, totally doing that. You're doing a 12 days of boob miss? That's freaking awesome. Whoa.
You're like, more information now, please. Oh my gosh. That I was going to say, I think I saw that on your Twitter. I'm like, we need more information on this ASAP. And then I love
I was like, last year, there's no Christmas like TBR or like readathon that I want to do. I was like, I want a cozy one. And so then I contacted the Driftless Reader, and I was like, hey, we should do this thing where it's the 12 days of Cosmos. And she was like, yes. And so then we started that last year, and then now's year 2, which I'm super excited about. Actually, so CR, my 12 Days of Cosmos TBR is coming out, or it came out today, didn't it? Yes, it did. It came out today. I filmed it yesterday and it went live today. But I only have 3 books on my TBR for the 12 Days of Cosmos that cover 11 out of the 12 challenges. So it's not like it's like a whole bunch of like really intense ones. Oh my God, Nicole, what size of boobs do you need to qualify? Asking for a friend? You slay me. Oh my God, I just died. Ah,
I love her so much. I love her. I'm gonna keep her forever. She's so cute. I think I had 5 books on my TBR, I think, but I also did like the double dipping with the challenges. And then even when I say 5 books, I included A Christmas Carol, which is a novella. It bugs me when people call it a book. It is a novella. So yeah. I only had, so technically it's like 4.5.
There is, I did say in my video, give me some hints on some, a classic that you would like me to try and read, because I don't read classics. So it's really, really hard for me to get into classics. So I've been reading your guys' comments on my TBR, and hopefully I can pick a classic from there that isn't too long and boring.
I saw someone recommend Frankenstein. I'm going, I think there's one scene in Frankenstein that has Christmas. I was trying to remember because I haven't read Frankenstein in several years.
Frankenstein a year ago, 2 years ago. It was for my women's science fiction course, because she actually created science fiction with that book. Nothing had been written like that before. So that was the first book we read for my science fiction by women's course.
I actually love is Harry Potter classic. It is. I mean, there are now classes taught at universities on Harry Potter. I'm going, Harry Potter counts as a classic.
I mean,
you know, Christmas of Hogwarts. That's legit. If you want to read a classic, I am all there for that one.
Anna, you just totally gave me my next book that I'm going to read for the 12 Days of Cosmos, Harry Potter #1. Thank you. I love your face, because that is like the coziest Christmas. And yes, thank you.
Especially the first one, because in the first 2 movies you have that warm gold tone. It's much brighter. It's that has a childish feel to it. I mean, that's amazing. I love that.
Let's see. Do we have a group cozy picked? We do Cat Dancer for the 12 Days of Cosmos. We're going to be reading Candy Cane Murder, and someone asked, when does the 12 Days of Cosmos start? It starts the 1st of December and it goes all the way through the 12th day of December. I didn't want to choose days that were later within the month due to the fact that people have so many different things going on within their lives. If they're traveling and they're going and doing so many different things, I didn't want it to be too close to other holidays or other things like that. So it's going to be the first 12 days of December.
I just saw Hannah's comment. Yes, the 6th book does have Christmas in it, but it's also a very sad Christmas for Harry Potter. I'm picturing them like doing the wreath at the grave, and they're also by themselves. Very different than the first book when he gets his cloak and Ron's mom sends him a sweater.
Oh, that sweater though. That sweater though. Yes. Hello, Book Chronicles. How are you? So, yes.
I like that Cosmos is December 1st. It's like it's setting you up for a month of being cozy. You're starting Christmas for the month. I like the dates.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for loving my channel. If you're not following Angela, you should totally go and follow her too.
You're very sweet. I know you've gained people. People are finding you. They're joining your little cozy corner of the world.
There was a while where like my subscriber count was just stagnant. Like I didn't gain, I was losing people. But then like the past like week or two, I've gained quite a few. Like I think I'm at 1740, which is super freaking awesome. That many people like watching my face. That's just so weird. I love it, but it's so weird.
People they're like, they love you. They love the cozy talk. They're here for you. They're here for this. I love it.
Yes, I'm so excited. I have a lot of Christmas cozies on my TBR this month, but I think I'm going to get tired of Christmas themed books by the first week. I can see that. I can see that. Winter's my favorite time of the year, as well as just Christmas and just like all of the things for winter and fall are my favorites. So I pretty much like devour it as much as I can, because then spring and summer hit and it's just gross.
I mean, winter is my favorite season. I like the cold. I really do.
Yeah. It gets way too hot here in Oklahoma, and I can't stand like the 98% humidity as well as like 110. It's just gross.
That does not sound fun.
No, it's horrible. So Hannah just got the Grisha trilogy. I don't know I've heard of the Grisha trilogy. I don't know what it's about. Let's see. The Book Chronicles, you got all of the Coffee House Mystery series. Here's mine right here. Yay! I hope you enjoy Claire Cossey or Cossey, however you want to say it. Aw, I'm your fave. That makes my heart so happy.
That's so sweet. I just saw a kid in Oklahoma, you say.
Seriously, it gets so hot in Oklahoma. Like in Arizona, because I've been to Arizona. Isn't that where Nicole, you live in Arizona, right? It's a dry heat. And so like I can stand that so much better. But when like I walk from if I walk outside in the summer, my glasses immediately fog up and any makeup I've put on immediately melts. Yeah. Oh, the roaring fires of Phoenix. Yes. But that's because you guys have a dry heat. So everything's all dried out. We have this moisture heat that sticks to everything.
I was going to say, yeah, that's not making me want to visit you in the summer anytime soon.
No. Mm-mm.
I was going to say, people in Texas.
Yeah.
In Texas.
My state was literally on fire on both ends this month. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's absolutely horrible.
Your hair goes poof like Mufasa.
Goodness.
I was going to say, DC just gets very muggy. It's not comfortable.
I've been to DC once.
You're like, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, no, I would love to go there. It's just a 23-hour drive from me.
Wow.
Yeah. Someone asked earlier if Candy Cane Murder would spoil any of the series, so I don't think it would. The later Christmas books would have spoilers, but Candy Cane is basically a short story. Thank you so much. What I was hoping is that it was just like sort of like little tastes of 3 different authors, so that maybe you could dive into more cozy mystery authors that you might not have read before. I like it when they have things like this available.
Oh, I hope everyone's okay too. Oh, sad. And it's over 100. Jeez, I'm just reading the comments. I'm trying to keep up when they go up. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
I'm not uncomfortable at all. I mean, I'm not a fan of the heat. Yeah.
Well, you guys my thoughts and my prayers are with you guys, and I hope you stay safe and that people that you know stay safe and get everything that they need.
It would take you a day and 10 hours to get to DC, nonstop.
Mm-hmm. I've driven from here to Baltimore, Maryland, which was 26 hours straight. And then I've driven from here to Santa Monica and San Diego. I've done that twice, and that was 23 hours straight. It was interesting. My wife reads fantasy books. Y'all read those? Yes, I mean I do. I do read a lot of fantasy books as well as cozy mysteries. The bookshelves behind me are mostly cozy. Actually, both of these are just mysteries. These 2 bookshelves behind me, but I've got another one that's right over here that has my fantasy, and then I've got one in my office. And yeah, I read all different types of books.
Oh yeah, all over the map. I'm curious if you have a favorite fantasy or if there's an author in particular that you just naturally gravitate towards. Just curious.
So what you're saying is there should be a cozy road trip. That would be fun.
I think we were talking about that with the bookmobile. We were like, we need to do a sort of tour of this. Aw, cozy's your true calling. And then urban fantasy. I feel like I don't know if I always categorize things correctly as urban fantasy. I'll just say fantasy and go, oh, like this goes into multiple subgenres.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, technically cozies are a subgenre of mystery. So I would say like the Mac and for Karen Marie Mounting, her fairy series would be urban fantasy because it's set during urban times. But whereas I don't know, I feel like fantasy has so many different like things that you can go down towards.
I mean, I just saw Suki Stackhouse popped up and I'm going, I love Charlene Harris Aurora Teagarden series with cozy. She's a great writer no matter what genre you're looking at.
Nicole said she could pick me up on the way to DC. Heck yes. We could all just hang out and like have a girls' weekend.
That would be epic. That would be epic. I was like, someday we will meet in real life and it will not just be virtual.
One of these days. Here's hoping.
Yeah, Suki, I was like, yes. I mean, True Blood, yeah. It's like, there's a reason that show and that series was so successful.
Mm-hmm. I have the series on this bookshelf over here, actually. So, yeah.
Although I have to admit, the books are very different than the TV show.
Extremely different. Extremely, extremely different. So we have sort of basically, in a goodish way, torn this book apart and how we thought about it and the characters and everything like that. I'm really excited that everybody had a different opinion. Like it makes it a lot more, I don't know, a fun live stream when everyone has their own like little twists and turns and things that they see and that they find in a story that I didn't necessarily see. I love that about doing these live streams.
I was going to say, I think this is the first time I think I've liked a book a little bit more than you did. Usually it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm. It is. But this one I was just like, I don't know if it's just because of the mood I'm in or like, I don't know. But this one just didn't pull me the way I wanted it to pull me. Because like I did about a year-round Christmas mystery, I was like, oh, come on. But it wasn't the best one for me this time.
Oh my gosh. Totally team Eric. I would climb that man like a tree. Does your husband Joe know you're saying that there, Nicole? Does he know I type that?
I was totally team Eric though.
I was too. I still am. Books and show. Nah, I'm team. I don't know. Yes. I know people like Bill, but I just there's something about Eric. Oh, night, Trish.
Good night, guys. Yeah, I think that we're about to wrap it up. I'm so glad that you came and joined us, Kelly, for the 12 days of Cosmas, and I'll keep up for the 12 days of Boobmas. I can't.
I'm really curious. I mean, I know that's the name of the podcast, but I'm going. I mean, where'd that come up? How'd you come up with that one? Because I mean, when you say it, like you just kind of have to smile with that one.
I do want to start the next year with a really, really good book. It is hard when you have to read the first book of a series, but I think that we always need to start with the first book of a series unless you want to read the second book of a series we've previously read the first one of. Like if you wanted to read the second one in, what was that one?
Fixer Upper?
Yeah. Yes, Fixer Upper. Second one of a series. It's totally up to you. The Book Chronicles asks, what's your favorite cozy? Mine is the Meet Your Baker by Ellie Alexander. I just love that series probably so much that my followers get annoyed with how much I love that series because I'm not going to lie, like it's always in my top. I have it right here, Meet Your Baker by Ellie Alexander. It is a bake shop mystery series, and it helps that the author is one of the nicest people in the whole entire world, and we've actually become really good friends. So I love supporting her.
Aw. I know she just started her YouTube channel, so if you guys are interested in listening to her discuss how she writes, about her books, I mean, go subscribe. She's there. She's awesome.
She's fantastic.
I was gonna say, I always go for Aurora. I love Aurora Teagarden. Charlene Harris, she holds a very special place in my heart. She was one of the first, cozy series that I really, fell in love with. So I'm gonna go with Aurora or Hannah Swenson, their Murder, She Baked by Joanna Fluke. So those are my top two.
I also love Sophie Kelly. It's a magical cats mystery series. I do have a video on top 5 cozy mysteries for beginners if you want to go and look at that on my channel. I have a lot of top 5s and different videos like that, all about the different types of cozies for cooking, baking, like all different kinds of stuff are all around there. Most of my videos are on cozies. So yeah.
Is there another Cooking with Cozies coming up?
I want to do one for during the 12 days of Cosmas. I want to take a recipe from this book, and I want to do it as well. It should be a lot of fun.
I was going to say, I think I was on your, because I wanted to open the link. I saw your channel. It was like, it said episode 1. I'm like, oh, where's episode 2? I want my second episode.
Yes. It was a lot of fun and a learning curve on how to set up different things to film myself and putting up lights and making sure my kitchen was clean and all of that fun stuff.
As soon as you have to go film in a different location, you're going, how do I do this? Every single time you're like going, wait a second, let me look around here. How do I get the lighting and everything else?
Yep. All right, lovely ladies, make sure you go and check out 12 Days of Cosmas, all of our videos, mine, Robin, and Angela's. Go follow 12 Days of Cosmas on Instagram and on Twitter. It starts this Saturday, and remember, we're reading Candy Cane Murder for the group book, and then we are we'll talk about a live stream, whether or not we're going to do it later within the month, just seeing where everyone's schedules are at and everything like that. But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us for an hour, talking about all of the different cozies and different things like that.
Oh, I know, it's always, I mean, I really enjoyed this book. I know some people didn't, but it was fun to talk about. I mean, I definitely think this was the first little introduction for me for Christmas this season. So starting off Christmas with a cozy mystery, I kind of like that.
Yeah, I think that it'll always it's a good start of the season. All right, everyone. I'm seeing people saying good night. I hope that you guys have an amazing, rest of your week and all of that fun stuff. And make sure you go and follow Angela if you haven't followed her yet, because she's amazing and you need to go do that like pronto, like yesterday.
You're so sweet. Oh, as I start to like blush through my foundation. Oh, and I'm so happy people are following your channel and it's growing. You deserve all the success in the world. I'm so happy to see, you're flourishing.
Thank you so much. It's so much fun.
Oh.
Good night, guys. I hope that you all have a good one, and we will talk to you later on the other social medias and everything. Good night. I love you too, Anna. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Stopping broadcast.